Hi everybody, Flow Yoga Faith here. Welcome. This morning we are going to do some yoga for strength and then have some gentle yoga. So nice stretch out afterwards. So go ahead and gather everything that you may want to have on the mat with you, especially for when we lay back and we relax. We will begin our practice today in a standing position. So go ahead. Get everything together. Bring yourself into this space. Let everything go that may have transpired prior to this moment. And just come into this place that right now this is just about you. It's not about anybody else. So if you are just now getting in, again, welcome. I am Flow Yoga Faith, and I am at Flow Yoga in Port Richey. So let's go ahead and stand looking at our feet. It's okay. Look at your toes. Let's let all 10 toes get nice and wide. Let them look forward at the front of your mat. Feel the heels having an energetic, kind of almost like they're pulling away. And can we feel the arches of our feet lift just a bit? Just notice for the moment how just that positioning of our feet makes us feel really strong. This starts that connection, that space at the earth to lift us up. And that is actually what begins to create the sense of strength down at our pelvic floor that we refer to as our Mula Bandha, our root block. So as we feel that space, perhaps we feel like our kneecaps are kind of rising up in towards our thighs. We feel the muscles of the legs wrapping into the bones, that we can feel this sense of grounding and support really strong. Now be careful though. Sometimes we start to squeeze our butt cheeks in. We don't need to do that, but we want to feel this internal energy lifting us. So notice if you're kind of pulling forward a little or arching back a little, just kind of feel yourself lift up, that you can feel yourself getting taller, but feel this perfect balance that the body begins. Let's just take a moment to maybe roll our shoulders a few times that we tend to not notice a lot when we're rounded. So just feel those shoulder blades coming down and coming in a bit. So we can feel that chest open. Feel the shoulders melting from the ears, and yet feel the head getting taller. So we feel space between the ears and the shoulders. And let's close our eyes. Just take a moment here to feel strong, to feel connected. And as we begin moving the body, let's just take an inhale, reaching the arms out to the side, letting the arms come up. We're going to bring the hands to the heart as we exhale. And let's just do here a few sun moon salutes. Just feel that breath lifting up as though it's coming up the front of the legs, lifting all the way up, expanding and extending, and then exhaling, coming down. We're going to do this just a few times, lengthening and lifting, exhaling and coming down. Now let's soften our knees. So when we say soften the knees, we're not really bending them, but we also want to make sure that they're not hyperextended, that they're not so straight that those knees feel locked. Because we're going to begin bending here at our hip. So we're not rounding the back, but with those knees soft, as we exhale here, we're just going to start coming forward into a bend, trying to have the upper body parallel to the floor, and then inhale and come back up. Feel the legs strong, but remember those knees have a softness. That doesn't mean that the thighs are not powerful and strong. Feel how the weight may shift a little more forward into the ball of the foot. Just hinging at that hip. Stopping. And you may already start to feel those legs. Let's go ahead and do that one more time, but this time when we come down. Pause, and we're going to reach our arms back. Let our thumbs point out a bit as though we're about to hitch a ride. Feel the arms powerful in towards the body. So you're not just letting them hang out there. You want to draw them in so you can really feel the muscles in the back working. These are called the extensor muscles. So they extend. Their name is actually erector spinae, but they create that long energy. Let's go ahead when we're ready, arms out to the side. Feel your legs really push into the earth. Inhale, come all the way up, and hopefully those legs woke up a bit. Just take a moment here as we reach and lengthen. Just feel the body extending. And we're going to bring our hands once again to our heart, this time bending at the hip, but let the knees bend, and let's find chair pose. Now you get a little bend. Again, that back is strong. We're not dropping and rounding. Feel the back muscles. Let's go ahead and take those hands back again. Same thing. Feel the arms powerful into the side of the body. And feel those legs. Breathe. See if you can let the upper body lean a little bit more. So this you'll feel perhaps a little less the leg and a little bit more into the butt cheeks. Get those strong, powerful glutes. You can get that yoga butt. Stay here for another breath. And then the arms again can reach out to the side as we inhale, press through strong legs, and let's rise all the way up. Again, lengthening ourselves all the way through. Breathe. And let's one more time just let our hands come to the heart, but just stand here. Don't go anywhere. But just kind of stop, pause, feel that chest open. This time as we take a big deep breath, let our arms just reach out to the side. Just see if you can imagine how the arms are parallel to the ground. How that heart lifts and opens, how we feel strong. And we reach those arms out to the side. See if you can close your eyes and just breathe. Find a perfect balance of the arms. You may notice if you turn the palms up or you turn them forward or turn them down, it will affect the weight of the arms. Just breathe, just pause. Feel the weight, feel the lightness, feel the strength. And then can we start to reach our arms down but take them back? So maybe take them back like you're reaching them back, just as we did before. Remember, we were hinged at our hips, that we reached the arms back. So again, the arms are really strong. I'm going to turn so that you can see how these arms now are strong. You want to feel the muscles wrapping into the bones. So let's stay here. Let's just soften our knees. And as we exhale, hinge at the hip. The knees are not bent, they're just soft. And we're going to pause. So we've been here before. Find the space. Feel the power in the legs. Notice if your weight falls back or if your weight falls forward. It's really going to affect what you're feeling. So you want to feel maybe a stretch in the back of the legs. You feel power in the front of the legs. And then can we start bending into the hips? Take this towards that chair. Stay here with the upper body and sit. And those legs are working. Strength. Feel the arches of the feet. They're still lifting. Feel all 10 toes getting long. And then when you're ready this time, look down at your mat. Go ahead and let your hands come down to the mat and give yourself a fold. And then you say, that feels so good. It's that release. Go ahead and walk your hands to one side. Whatever side you want to go to is fine. And then we'll come back center and walk our hands to the opposite side. Come back to center, and let's see if we here can let our hands come down to the mat. Can you really let your palms come down? Widen out all those fingers. Feel maybe a little more weight into the front of the body, and feel the backs of the heels float up. That you feel the balls of the feet strong, and you really start to feel that belly. Now we're going to get a little bit of heat going here. Our breath is going to deepen just a bit. So we're going to take a moment to inhale, look forward. We're going to walk our feet back and come into plank. Come into plank pose. Feel that body strong. If that tush is up, lower it down. If it's sagging down, lift it just a bit. And then we're going to walk our hands back to our feet. We find that fold. And we're going to inhale, look forward, walk our hands forward, come into that plank again, find that space, and then walk our feet up to our hands. Look forward. Walk the feet back. You know where I'm going here, right? Find that plank. Walk the hands back to the feet. Find that fold. Looking forward, walk the hands forward. Find that plank. And then walk the feet to the hands. Now stop here this time. As we inhale, look forward. Find that length in the body. Feel the strength in the legs. Can we then let the arms come out, and we're going to lift all the way up. Hands come to the heart, and let's pause a moment, bringing the arms down and finding mountain. So we're going to add here. That add is going to be our body lifted up. Then we're going to come down. So this time, when you're ready, take that big inhale, lifting up. We're going to slowly come into that fold. Let those hands connect. Inhale, look forward. Either walk our feet back or jump our feet back, coming into our plank. Then walk the hands back to our feet. This time, inhale, look forward, then rise all the way up. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, look forward, walk the hands to plank. Either step the feet up or jump them up as the feet come to the hands. We inhale, look forward, press through strong body, and rise up. Let's go ahead and do that 3 more times at your own pace. I know for me, that was just 1. 2 more to go. Do any parts of this that feel good for you? And maybe you would like to add a little push-up. When you're in that plank. Remember, yoga push-up is our chaturanga. A push-up is a push-up, regardless of its name. So that was my number 2. When you finish your last one, let's meet in our mountain pose again. Let the hands come down and pause. Just take a moment here to stop and breathe. How does that feel? Is your breath a little bit quicker? Your body feel a little stronger, more connected? So just find that space. Just breathe. When we're ready, let's once again take that nice big inhale, lifting all the way up. But let's give ourselves a fold that we're going to relax and release. Just go ahead, let that body come down. Let the hands come down. And then walk the hands to one side, whatever side we wish. We come back center and walk our hands in the opposite direction. Come back center one more time. Give yourself a little release. Maybe take 3 breaths here. Taking long, slow, deep, full breaths, filling those ribs completely out. After that 3rd breath, take a nice inhale, look forward. This time our right foot stays right where it is. We're going to shift our weight into that right, and we're going to step that left leg back. So go ahead and find that lunge. Reach that heel back, and then ease the right hip back as well. Just take a moment here. Find a pyramid. Feel the hands pushing that front of the mat away. And then slowly flowing ourselves forward to find the positioning of a lunge. Walk our hands now to either side of that right foot. Make sure the shoulder blades are, instead of rounding, they're lifting up. And just stop here, finding that breath. Can you then bring your arms back so your upper body is floating on that right thigh? And just breathe. Notice what that left hip is doing. If it's pushing back, it's much more challenging. So draw that hip forward, right hip back, that we find ourselves grounded and strong. And then slowly lowering the hands back down again, easing that right hip back, and give yourself that nice pyramid. So feel that right hip really easing back. That left heel maybe floating. Maybe you turned that heel in a bit. And we're going to bring our hips forward one more time. Now, if we feel our hips really high, we're pushing through that leg. We don't want to do that here. We want to let the hips lower. Let's bring our left hand down. Rotate our body to the right and just find this pause with this nice rotation. A twisted lunge. And then when you're ready, lower that right hand down. So here we are in that lunge again. Let's challenge ourselves just a bit as we now step that right foot back again. We find that plank. Now shift our weight a little bit to the right And just take the left hand up onto the right shoulder. That's all you're going to do. You're balancing on that right hand. And then bring that hand back down. Press back, downward facing dog. Easing the hips up. Feel the hands strong. Can you press the fingers into the mat? Maybe lift the heel of the hand up so you can really feel yourself easing back. And then lower the hands down once again. And we'll walk our feet up to the hands. And now you may be saying, oh my goodness, that forward fold has never felt so good. Let's take a nice inhale, look forward. That extended forward fold, that monkey pose. So let's go do that on the other side. Shift our weight this time into the left foot, and then step that right foot back. So notice when that foot comes back, that hip comes back with it. So can we now invite that right hip to come forward a bit, invite that left hip to come back a little, and then notice where you start to feel that sense of grounding here, that sense of connection, that sense of strength. That right heel is still up, this is a lunge. And we're going to walk our hands so they're in line with the left foot. And then slowly lift just enough that the fingers don't touch the ground, that's all. Bring the shoulder blades towards one another, and then let's bring those arms back again. Remember, the arms are not out to the side, but you want to kind of bring them in towards the ribs. So make yourself really streamlined and strong. Feel the back powerful, that's that erector spinae. They're extending you, not rounding you. Find your breath. And then we'll slowly let the hands come down. Can we ease the hips back again, finding that pyramid? And do you notice how one side seems to be a little longer and a little more playful than the other? That's perfectly normal, so don't get frustrated there. So again, that right heel, it should be up. Maybe you turned it into warrior, that's okay. But now we're going to come forward into that lunge again. Do a little body check here. Notice where your butt is. If it's up in the air, can you ease it down? And we're going to allow our right hand to stay on the ground. We're going to turn left and allow that left arm to rise up into the sky. Just pause here, just breathe. Remember when we had our arms outstretched, that's really all we're feeling here, is that outstretched arms. And then when we're ready, we're going to look forward. We're going to bring the hands down. Let's go ahead and step back. Downward facing dog. Go ahead and ease yourself back. Maybe lift the heels of the hands up. Go ahead and feel that. Just press into the fingers. See if you can come back a little more. And then bring the hands down strongly. We'll flow forward into plank. Guess what we need to do this time? We need to do that balance. So we're going to shift our weight left a bit and bring our right hand to the left shoulder. This is not a side plank. This is just shifting that weight. And then bring that hand down. Can we now walk the feet up to the hands? And just find that fold. All 10 toes are wide and long. Notice if you're falling back into the heels, try to draw the awareness a little more forward. Let's go ahead and take our hands. Can we grab our yogi toes? So we're going to take the second and third fingers, take it between the first toe and the second toe, and go ahead and reach to the pad of that big toe. Take a nice inhale, lift up the body. Feel the arms now really strong. So you've got some resistance going here. As you feel the shoulder blades, they're not rounding, but they're drawing together, and you're lifting and you're opening your heart. And you may feel those backs of the legs. And then as you exhale, use the arms to draw yourself into that fold. A little more. Then one more time, take that inhale, look forward. We're going to let our hands come out of this space. Bring the arms back behind us again. Lift the upper body just enough that we feel parallel. Strong legs, and then rise up all the way. And those legs have woken up. Let's lift all the way up. Feel the shoulders melting from the ears. And then just let the arms for a moment come out to the side. Find that strong mountain. Find that breath. So let's find that chair pose again. So when we're ready, our arms reach all the way out to the side. They come all the way up. This time, bring the hands to the heart. Find that chair pose that we did earlier. Pause. So feel those legs. And then would we like our arms once again to come out and down? So feel the body. Feel the chest expanding. Feel the back lengthening. Feel those butt cheeks. Yoga butt here. Maybe sit a little deeper. Bring those hips back. Explore how low can you go. Just stay here. And then when you're ready, look up, start to come up, and we're going to let our arms reach out to the side again and just let them stop shoulder height. You feel the shoulders creeping up into the ears, let them relax. Feel the arms extended and expanded. Feel that yoga smile, that smile of strength. And then one more time, take those arms up, 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 up. Let's bring the hands again towards the heart. Find that chair pose one more time. And let's see how we feel with a little balance here. So let's shift first into our right foot. And just see if we can take our left foot off the mat. Just pause. And then we'll lower that left foot down. Shift our weight left. And then see if we can lift that right foot. And then let that foot come down. Stay here. This is our last move for our yoga strength today, so don't give up. When you're ready, bend all the way. Bring the hands down to the ground. Keep your knees bent, please. Shift your weight into the right leg. And we're going to lift the left foot off the mat. Bring that knee just next to that right. When you're ready, we're going to go ahead and straighten the right leg and go ahead and lift that left leg up. And then we're going to bend that right knee, bend into the hip, and lower that left knee next to you. And then lift up, and come on down. Just find your breath. Maybe saying to yourself, yoga butt, yoga butt, yoga butt. Strong and powerful. Bending in. And coming back up. Now the next time we bend that right knee, and we'll let that left knee just kind of hang out next to it. Make sure you're not rounding and dropping. Lengthen the spine. Maybe unload a little, that you're pushing your fingers. How does that butt feel? Let's go ahead and bring that left foot down. Shift that weight left, lift that right foot up. And let's do that little flow here. Straightening that left, reaching up with that right leg, bending back into that left knee and hip, bringing that right in. Just breathe. Feel that breath out. Feel that breath in. Now the next time we bend that left leg, that left hip, just let that right knee hang out next to it. Really feel, can you feel that butt? Is it on fire? Breathe. And again, try not rounding the back here. Look forward, maybe take those fingers and push the ground. Now from here, guys, let's step that right leg all the way back and down the mat. Step back now with the left, find the downward facing dog. When you're ready, flow forward. As we look forward, we're going to come into upward facing dog. So use your toes, push forward. See if you can come lightly on the toes. Then you come onto the top of the foot here. Lift and open. And when you're ready, let the knees come down. Bring your hips back to your heels. And pause. Just find your breath. So as we find here that wonderful space, that we can do some gentle yoga now to stretch out, to release. So if you're just joining us for this part of the segment, welcome. Let your knees open up as wide as you can here comfortably. Let the big toes touch. Feel the hips sinking back to the heels, lengthening the body. And then you have options here. The arms can really reach forward. You can kind of stack the hands maybe to rest the head. That helps to support you. If you have a yoga block, you can rest your head. Maybe you want your hands to come back to your feet. That's all fine too. Let's just take a couple more breaths here. We want to walk our hands to one side. So whatever's comfortable, just walk the hands a little bit to one side, that you can feel yourself really stretching into the sides of the ribs. And then we'll come back center and walk our hands in the opposite direction. And then we'll come back center. And let's go ahead and walk our hands back towards our body. Take a moment to sit up. And let's find a seat. So we can sit in an easy seated pose with whatever leg is crossed in front. If you'd like a blanket, if you'd like towels, if you'd like something to raise your seat, you're welcome to do so. If for you today you're choosing to be in a chair, that's fine. We can grab whatever extra baggage that we have on our butts and draw it out. And if we just did the strength class, that may feel nice and firm for you as well. We can roll our shoulders a few times. And then feel the shoulders melting down. Let the arms be heavy. And let's just take a moment now to find a centering and more calming breath. Feel the breath as it comes into the very base of the lungs, and you can feel that breath rising up the length of the body. Noticing here as that breath has come all the way up, as we exhale, it leaves in the opposite direction. It leaves first from the top. So just find our breath here. And we may begin to notice there's this organic movement, that as we inhale and expand the chest, We may find the physical chest also widening and coming forward a bit as the back muscles tend to start working to support that. But then as you exhale, you're letting go of that breath. You may find the front body kind of narrowing in a little bit. So that's okay. But let's not kind of really push that here. Let's kind of try to stay and let this action be really very much internal. We want to find ourselves coming into hands and knees. We also have the option of coming to forearms and knees if that works good for us. And if we've chosen to be with a chair today, we can also have our hands on the chair and just have our legs straight. So whatever works for you. So let's go ahead and bring ourselves into what works good for us with our hands and knees. The goal is to try to bring our shoulders to align over the hands and the hips to align over the legs. So if the knees are bent, it's the knees. You can either point your toes here or curl, and let's begin a little cow-cat. So remember that inhale creates that opening in the chest. And then that exhale allows the chest to release, which allows the back now to get wider and longer. Close your eyes, and now just feel that freedom of motion. We want to feel a sense of mobility. Now the next time in our inhale, we're going to let our heart look forward a bit. We want to make sure that we're not thrusting our head back. So when we thrust our head back, we realize our shoulders kind of catch up to catch it and support it. So just elongating the neck and the head. We're going to slowly slide our left foot back and then see if you can let it hover. Let the toes for the moment point down towards the ground. So we're pressing back through the heel. And then all our weight comes on to the left, and we're going to raise that right arm up. And just find here a nice spinal balance. Again, if you're on your chair, you can still do the same. The leg won't raise as high. And if you're on your forearm, the leg and the arm do not raise as high, or you may choose to bring your hand to the shoulder. And then let's lower the hand, let's lower the knee. And then we'll switch. We'll take that right leg back. See if you can let that leg float. Maybe for you today, you'd rather have that toe touching the ground, but you want to press back through the heel, and then that left hand comes forward. And again, notice how you feel on both sides. It's important for us to notice that we are not the same. And then let's lower the hand and lower the knee. And give ourselves a few more cows and cats. Just feel that inhale and feel that exhale. So on our next inhale, we're going to come back to elongating that left leg again. Just lengthen that leg, but this time keep the right hand where it is. And we're going to bend that left knee. And maybe lift that leg up a little higher and look forward. So this is a sunbird pose. Now, go ahead and point the toe a little bit. Not too much that you get a cramp in the back of the leg, but now allow the toe to point to the ceiling a bit, and I bet you get the leg up a little higher. And then when you're ready, slowly bring that knee down. Give yourself that nice cat pose. Give yourself again a cow. Let's do that just a few times. We want to go ahead and do this on the other side. So we're going to do this with the right. So our next inhale, look forward. And again, before you lift the leg, notice the shoulders. If you're thrusting that head back, those shoulders start to tighten so the head doesn't thrust back, just looking forward. Shift the weight left, take that right leg back. Take a moment, just let that leg stretch out. And then when you're ready, bend that knee. And then lift that leg a little. So pause here. And then when you're ready, take the toe, point it towards the ceiling a bit. But be careful, because if we do it too hard, we'll start getting a cramp in the back of the leg. But notice now you can lift it up a little higher. And just pause here as we find the sunbird. Let our heart shine, looking forward. And then we'll lower the knee down. Come into a nice cat. Inhale, look forward to cow. If you will, stay here. Let your knees widen out. Bring your big toes to kiss and work the hips back to the heels. So if you're standing here, you may want to just bring your forearms down and press the hips back like a downward facing dog or dolphin. But ease those hips back, and we want to give our hands here a bit of a rest. So you can go ahead and allow the forearms to maybe press in, maybe reach those hands as long and forward as you wish, maybe even turning the hands so the hands are like blades, so you only feel that outer edge of the hand, that ulna aspect. Come to where it feels good for you, and you can let go and breathe. And of course, we always have the opportunity to maybe walk the hands to one side, whatever side you wish to come into, feeling those ribs. And then if you walk to one side, we'll walk ourselves to the opposite side. And then come back center again. Let's one more time here, bringing ourselves that we can come up to hands and knees. So again, aligning the shoulders that they come over the hands, allowing the hips that they come over the knees. Let's give ourselves those few cows and cat poses. And when we find that cow, that inhale, that opening here of the chest, let's once again let that left leg float back and let it just lengthen. Maybe turn our head for a moment and look down that leg. I mean, kind of look down that you can see, feel that nice stretch now on that right side. Come back center, and can you now look right? Maybe you see the foot, maybe you don't, but feel that weight, and then come back center. When you're ready, we're going to bend that knee again, lift that leg up in the sunbird, maybe get a little point. We can stay right here. Let all our weight shift for a moment into that left hand. It's that left leg is up. We're going to turn and look right, and we're going to take this right hand and just come to your right hip, right hip. And then if you can bring that left foot in and reach that right hand to that left foot, lift it up, but you have to look forward now. A bound sunbird. And then when you're ready, slowly release, let go. But let's take that left leg, cross it behind that right. See if you can let the foot sink out into that right side, let that left. So the right foot goes left, that left foot goes right. Take a moment, sink back here. Just stretch yourself through. How does that right hip feel? And then slowly start to come forward. That left leg comes back where it began. That right foot realigns. And pause. When we're ready, that right leg comes back. Take a moment to stretch it out. Let's turn and look left. And we look right. We look both sides, so whichever way you want to go first is fine. And then we find the center. Come to sunbird one more time, bending that knee, lifting that leg up. As we look forward, we'll now take the left hand, bring it to the left hip. And maybe you turn and you look back, or maybe you stay looking forward. And then see if you can reach that left hand to that right ankle, that right foot, and lift up. Find your breath. And then when you're ready, release, but let's cross that right leg behind the left. Bring that right foot as far left as you can, and now take that left foot and move that as far right as you can. And then gently ease back into the hip. You're not sitting on it, you're just stretching back. You may feel this luscious stretch now in those glutes and those butt cheeks. And then look forward. Slowly start to come on back up. Let's bring our legs back in alignment again. Right behind right, left behind left. Let our knees open out wide. One more time, let the big toes kiss and sink those hips back. Find that nice child's pose. Would you like your arms long and extended in front of you? Would you like those arms stacked to rest the head? Maybe today you want your hands to come to your feet. It's your body, it's your practice. How do you feel? And then from wherever we are, beginning to lift, slowly start to walk ourselves up. And let's find a seat, bringing our legs long on the mat. So just aligning ourselves here, that our feet come down to the end of the mat. And just sit up here nice and tall. So look at our toes. We don't want to point those toes here, but we want to see if we can pull the toes towards our head. So remember when we did that fold and we grabbed a hold of our toes, we were standing to really stretch the back of the legs. So again, those knees can be playful. You're not trying to force them down, because if we tighten the legs, we're going to not be able to stretch them. So we're going to lift our chest here nice and tall. Just for a moment, bring our hands down by our side, by our hips. So roll the shoulders back as we find Dandasana. This is a staff pose. This is actually a very powerful, very strong pose that we can really feel ourselves lifting. And And then can we walk our hands back a little bit? You know, just kind of walk them back. Those fingers are pointing towards where our feet are. Feel the shoulder blades come together. Feel the chest open. So really now feel that body. So we're going to notice that actually our back here is working and our chest is opening. Now we're going to soften our knees a little bit, just enough that you can feel the heels start to move towards you a little, just a bit. And then as we point the toes, we're going to allow those hips to rise up. And find here our reverse plank. So again, don't throw your head back. The back, guys, is working. And then we'll lower the hips. Let the toes work towards your head again. Inhale, lift up. Let's find that staff pose. And then as you exhale, hinge at your hips. See where your arms can reach. Can you reach those big yogi toes just as we did when we stood? Let your fingers press into the pad of the big toe. Feel your heart reaching towards the toes. And feel the back of the legs lengthen. Because we feel power now in the front of the leg. And then as you exhale, just as we did when we were standing, you can use those arms to bring you forward a bit, and you may start to feel the back stretching as well. Take one hand, it doesn't matter. Take it and cross it over the other foot. So feel the ribs expanding. And then come back to where you were. If you can grab that yogi toe, do so. If maybe the hands are sitting at the shin, that's fine. Take that other hand and cross it over. Breathe into those ribs. And then come back center again. If you're holding the big yogi toe, great. If you're not holding it, it's great too, because you're here. You're doing what you need to do for you. So we're going to inhale and lengthen the spine. Feel how the back now melts into the front body. Let the hands begin to release. Let them come down to the ground. And let's find one more time that Dandasana. We're going to give ourselves a little twist. So let's take our right hand forward, lift up tall, turn ourselves right as that right hand comes back behind. Left hand comes to the outside of that right leg. Sitting nice and tall. Feeling how that right shoulder blade tucks in, how that left side opens up. Maybe feeling how that right side of that chest expands. And then come back center to our Dandasana. And then are you ready to go left? We'll take that left hand forward, lifting up, rotating around. Right hand will come to the outside of the left thigh as we sit tall. Feel now that left shoulder blade tucking in, that left side of the chest opening up. Feel that smile of strength, calm. And then one more time, come back center. We'll find Dandasana. Let's walk our hands back a little bit again. We're not going to point the toes this time. We're not going to lift the hips up. Well, let's just feel the arms strong behind us and just lift and open the chest. Again, notice if you thrust your head back, those shoulders actually tighten. So the shoulders are down, the heart is what lifts. We bring our tongue to the roof of the mouth. And feel that smile. Can we begin now to bend those elbows and allow ourselves to float down as we lie back? Allowing yourself to release. Take one knee to the chest. Let that leg kind of move and flow a little. And then allow that knee to cross over to the opposite side and just give yourself a nice little lower body twist. Letting your gaze look to the direction opposite of your knee. So if you have your right knee up, you're going to look left. If you have your left knee up, you're going to look in that direction, left. So whatever direction the knee is going to, you just look the opposite way. And then come back to our center. Let that leg release. And do the same with the other. Let that leg come up first. Let it move and play just a little bit. And then slowly allow that knee to cross over. Letting our gaze go in the opposite direction. Just find your breath. And then when ready again, come back to center and let the whole body relax. Here we only need to be here in our breath. Feel the weight of our body resting into the mat beneath us. Feeling the energy of the prana, the life force, moving through our bodies. Our eyes are closed. We have a little space between the upper and lower teeth. Feel our shoulders relaxed, our upper back supported by the mat. Our buttocks and hips relaxed, supported by the mat. Our arms are long, our palms turn up. Our legs are long, and our toes turn out. Just feeling our breath moving within us. Just breathing, just being. slowly begin to deepen our breath. And wiggle our fingers, wiggle our toes. Move our ankles and move our wrists. Maybe stretching out our arms and legs. And then drawing our knees into our chest and giving ourselves a hug. Maybe a little rock side to side. And then coming back up. And we'll join in a seat. Let's bring our palms together into the Anjali Mudra. May the long-time sun shine upon you. May all love surround you. And may the pure light within you guide you on. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.